can you ever be too severe with people who, are receiving this stuff? Can you be too severe? I mean, if people want to make distinctions for 18 to 17-year-olds, that might be one thing. I just don't like throwing the baby out with the bathwater, and that's what a lot of these universal statements do. And senators have every right to question her record. There's one thing that remains completely unarguable, and that is that she's soft on criminals, period. She believes in this restorative justice that is the heart of the rot of the judicial system. That is whether you're talking about this particular type of offense or something else. This is one thing that is consistent. She thinks that mandatory minimum sentences are too high, when it comes to, and that's what Holly's critique was, when it comes to the receipt of this type of material. But her entire legal or judicial career, I think, is about restorative justice and just being soft on criminals. And I think that that's the problem with it. That's why you have such high recidivism rates. She thinks that essentially that life sentences are stigmatization or revenge. That's kind of how she views it. I mean, where's the lie? She once served on the U.S. Sentencing Commission, and she was advocating for the abolition of mandatory minimum sentences for people who were caught with child pornography. And she kind of took this trend downward with sentencing guidelines. I think that I think everybody's soft compared to me on this issue. I think you should be put to death. That's me. If you're in possession of it, I think you should be put to death. If you are creating it, you should be put to death, then brought back to life and put back to death. That's how I view it. I'm not exaggerating. I wholeheartly 1,000% believe this. The end. Everyone in the land, the law of the land or in the land of law rather, is too soft, as far as I'm concerned. This is where I think that cruel and unusual punishment ban should be suspended. I totally believe wholeheartedly in cruel and very unusual punishments for child predators. Very cruel and very unusual. The crueler and the more unusual, the better the justice. That's just kind of how I look at it. And I don't make any apologies for it. So you got to understand my perspective in coming at this. I can't even believe we're even arguing about this, right? Well, how the hell is this even a debate? Now, I get it. Again, if you're an 18-year-old and you're sending a schlong pic to your 17-year-old girlfriend and their parents find out, I don't believe we should, in this abdication of nuance when it comes to such an issue. But when you're talking about what we all know as molestation of pornography, death penalty. And I think I'm actually to the right of every Supreme Court justice on this. So it's really hard for me to come in with an even-keeled perspective on this issue. Right, Kane? I mean, I'm struggling here. Yeah, I get it. I mean, I'm talking about it just to let people understand where she's at, what Hawley's saying. McCarthy's you have to understand, Andy McCarthy, he's a conservative, but he's a robot. He's a legal bot. He's a robot. I don't know how else to put, he's like one of the smartest people I know. So the whole point with this is she was looking at particularly mandatory minimum sentences for people caught in possession of something. But even before that, she believed in freeing convicts from this, this duty. Everybody had to register as sex offenders once they got out of prison. I just think that, and I could sit here and go through all of these studies that look at the correlation of, weak sentencing and the usage of child pornography and recidivism, etc. So I don't know. Bottom line, I just don't think, I think our laws are too soft on this in the first place, and the entire context of this argument is off.